Whoa. Well, we knew it was only a matter of time. Be afraid. Be very, very afraid. Maybe. Greetings, fellow Vita fans. This is James with PS Vita at 2 a.m. coming at you once again with another exciting video. And if you're new here and love everything PlayStation Vita, don't forget to subscribe and make sure to tell me your thoughts and opinions about this topic down in the comments section. And I'm pretty sure I know what those thoughts and opinions are going to be like. So we got some news recently, some surprising news at that, which we're not 100% sure is either good or bad. Probably going to be bad, or it could just be nothing, which would be good. And usually with news like that, it would be cause for celebration. I had my acid wash jeans ready and everything. But in this case, I'm not 100% sure that's what it's gonna be. So the following news comes from ScreenRant.com, and they reported saying this: the PS3 system update catches owners by surprise. Yeah, you heard that right, guys. Sony is a-doing things to the PS3. Over 14 years after its release, the PlayStation 3 has received a brand new system software update, 4.88, completely catching fans by surprise. I'm surprised. More than 14 years after its original release, the PlayStation 3 has received a new system software update. The PS3's 4.87 firmware update went live back in December of 2020, demanding approximately 200 megabytes of free space on the hard drive. 4.87 notably improved system stability on the 7th generation hardware, which is usually what Sony does with their legacy platforms at that point, and removing hacks. It also updated Blu-ray keys for new releases and tackled a security fix, which I'm assuming the security fix was probably their number one priority there, which could mean something for us, but I'll get to that in a sec. That Sony continues to support the console should please many fans, especially on the heels and fears that the hardware manufacturer would soon abandon its legacy devices. Such concerns arose earlier this year following news of the digital storefront for the PSP, PS3, and PS Vita going offline in 2021. A hashtag RIP PSP store. It didn't take long for Sony to reverse course though. The PSP store will still shut down on July 2nd, but the PlayStation 3 and PS Vita stores will continue operation. Evidently, Sony's third home console has even more life left in it. So this article takes this in a more positive light, but for us personally here, especially with how big the hacking and homebrew community is, I'm not 100% sure this is going to be exactly good news. Yeah, I know, call me a wet blanket here, but just hear me out. I sometimes know what I'm talking about. Sometimes. Because yeah, well, it is true here that the PlayStation 3 did get a good update, like with the Blu-ray player and whatnot. When it comes to the PlayStation Vita, the only thing we've really had is stability improvements. And I use air quotes with that because normally, 9 times out of 10, all of these firmware updates, like for the last, I can't even remember how many years now, has just been strictly about blocking hacks. Well, no, actually, now that I think about it, I think it's been 10 times out of 10. So that's gotta be some sort of record, much to the chagrin of people actually trying to make homebrew games. And while I get the fact that Sony does want to protect its intellectual properties and its devices and whatnot, even though they haven't done it in like well over a year now for the system, there have been some great hacks on the PS Vita that really do help performance, such as being able to overclock, or for the PS Vita TV, being able to play some of your cartridges that you would normally not be able to play via an anti-blacklist mod. Please don't take that away from me, Sony. Oh, and I should just mention real quickly here, while a lot of people think that the reason why a lot of those games are blacklisted is because they use the rear touch function, camera controls, and other features of the PS Vita, that's not the case with many games out there. Many games are just intentionally locked out by the developers because they wanted you to buy the more expensive version of the game back in the day. Yep, Square Enix, I'm looking at you. I just want to play Secret of Mana on my PS TV, darn it. Why won't you just let me do it, Square Enix? Why do you hate me so? So another thought came to me in the back of my mind here. Sony giving the PS Vita a new system software update would of course be bad because despite what they're saying here about stability and whatnot, it's really just to remove hacks. And I do know that the hacking community won't have much of a trouble probably taking down the new 3.74 or whatever Sony would call it down pretty quickly, I'm thinking too. But on the plus side, if Sony does go in fact to the trouble of giving us a 3.74 update, which I'll just be honest here, I knew they were going to eventually do it sometime. I knew that 3.73 wasn't going to be the last one. It was just a matter of when this was going to happen. But let's just pretend for a second that it is going to happen now. The one good takeoff that we can take from that is that they still sort of technically care about their legacy platforms in this manner. And while I highly doubt the PS Vita is going to be getting any kind of extra features the way the PS3 version got recently, at the very least, maybe this means that they're going to be keeping up the PS Vita store and both the PS3 store longer than we thought. And that's what I'm thinking, or at the very least in this case, hoping is the situation. Leaning leaning more to the hoping aspect of that argument. It's really the only thing you can do as a PS Vita fan in the year 2021. Now again, we're not 100% certain that a new firmware update is coming to the PS Vita at all, but the fact that Sony did this to the PS3 just weeks after the whole store going to be shutting down, then it wasn't going to be happening fiasco, now they give a new firmware update for the PS3, makes me think that the PS Vita isn't far off in the future from getting one itself. I mean, it could happen any day now, or hey, maybe it might not even happen at all. But I am expecting at least one new big firmware update before they eventually close, because that's kind of the way a lot of these big video game corporations handle their systems. Just before they go completely dead in the water and are discontinued, they get one big final firmware update. That's just the way history's played with these legacy platforms. Come on, PS Vita, you can do it! So the main point of this video is just to kind of give you a heads up here, just so any of you out there who a new system software would affect, this way you can kind of be on your toes and be possibly expecting it. And for those of you who could care less about a system software update, then maybe you can take this as good news. Like maybe Sony's gonna give us something aside from a whole stability and blocking hacks issue. Maybe they'll make the software run faster, or maybe heck, why not bring back Nier while you're at it? I know, I'm really stretching here, but just maybe. But guys, that'll be the news for today, and I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section of what you think about this. Will this firmware update affect you, or will it not? Do you care less? Do you think Sony will do it, or do you think that Sony won't do it? I'd love to hear your opinions. And as always, fellow Vita fans, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It really means a lot to me. Love you all, and I'll see you next time. This video has been brought to you in part by all of these wonderfully generous people who help make this content possible, including Bushin Ryu Cat, Alan Iwazuk, Milk Sama, Nirarashi, Shin Snake, Reiko Star, Joseph Razmick, Matt Fox, Frayden, B Mystery, Zacrito, Makis Blob, Robert Johnson, David Ray, Skulshire Tugel TCG, Rodrigo Vera, Larry Anderson, Wendy K, Adam Thury, Aaron Swanson, H-Hitter, Per Sterner, Heston Joseph, Jelle, E-Rock, Kevin Enright, Laurie Sweeney, JR, Jared Haddo, Richard Cruz, Kyle Brooks, Joshua Williams, PS Vita S, Hemdall Imbert, Saul Ramirez, Claymer Malarkey, Adam Sondi, Gutter Drums, Phantom XRS, BMF, Hero Acer, Jamie, Matt Hargett, Dr. Super Artie, Crazy Cat, Mazgus, Romp King, Colossus, Tasha Monty, Donut Valley, Ricardo Martinez, Eric DeWitt, Nintendo Switch at 2 AM, Juan M. Hermosillo, Azumara, Burzin Mystery, 1488 Dental, Michael O'Connor, Kayonko, Sakib Alam, Robert Sylvester, Hector Gonzalez, and Smug Wolf. If you would be interested in supporting the channel and seeing your name on this end screen here, or if you wish to remain anonymous, that can be provided too, then make sure to check the links down in the description below. I have numerous ways for you to do this down there. Can't support in this manner? Don't worry about it. Likes and shares can help equally as much. And Sony, I won't include Jim Ryan just because I've been using him as a target way too much, but Sony, we're watching you. Who am I kidding? They're gonna do it anyway.